17. Yeah, that should make things a little easier. How did you fare? Well, I killed 3 of them. 1, 2 lurking on the fringes, nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you notice yourself, but individually, these lesser sin eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. Okay. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat, much like the void scent. Oh, I just got the connection. It's in the realm of light. Yeah, that makes sense. When they appear in numbers, they pose a threat. Much like the void scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of your kind. This is when a powerful sin eater goes on the hunt, and it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or a hamlet. That would be bad. That's the basic idea. My patrols to call their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you certainly hope that comes. Let's report our victories to Teslim, shall we? Teslim. Jose tells me you helped out on the patrol. You have our thanks and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. Yeah, you kinda did do that. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alize has missed your company. Everything is always, if Ragnar were here, he would. That's an exaggeration. I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Ragnar's methods. And there's also the fact that I'm pretty sure she's starting to fall in love. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I can understand why. the way he leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. Confirmation. Yep. Only teasing, though I have no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets, just as you do. Okay, thank you. What I have is probably better, but trying to get back into the game when you've never played PC is difficult because I keep forgetting that you have to right click, not left click. Because I've admittedly been spoiled by the PlayStation version. Everybody's in the way. Purchase a fruit. Tesleen has the air of a woman being pulled in 10 directions at once. Don't we all? I love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. And you're going to make me help. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alize? Well, that's all I need to do. Of course. What? And twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can help you with. I just reached my hand through her V-clipping. I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You could start by helping me sort out the larder, Alize. I did not sign up for this. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. If they're turning into sin eaters anyway, their names are Pawnil, Tauden, and Howrick. They may not give much in the way of a response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. Yeah, the response might be just to eat me. Okay. Pawnil? Are you even alive? Ah, he does speak. Look at that. Thank you. You are welcome, good sir. Well, you're awake. You're more awake than the other guy was, but you're not saying anything. Todd glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face ease slightly. Maybe he was always like that. And Howard. Are we playing patty cake? Uh-oh, there's a scene. Is he going to turn into a sin eater right in front of me? Oh, he's an aura. Howard remains utterly still as you wipe sand from his cheek. Uh-oh. The texture of his skin has hardened into something akin to plaster. Look, how did he look like that anyway? Oh. Wow. Are we ready for something that didn't happen? Did I don't even remember if I attuned. I did not. See, that's the thing with these new expansions, because I stopped playing for about 3 years after I finished Stormblood, so catching back up when you don't remember what all you've done before, granted, I should have known because this is a whole new area, but you've seen to the patients. How were they? One was talkative, one was quiet, the other is probably about to eat us all. Good, that's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. The third one, you can't even tell he enjoyed it. I am concerned about Howard, though. Exactly. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. we shall leave you to that discussion then. I was going to take Ragna to Mordsuk. I never could figure out if that was how you said that word. Suk, I guess. If you have any errands there that need doing, delivery quest. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine from those from the markets, please? Cassard's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Ragna. There's something I want you to see. Really? Right after we stop at Ronron's stall, of course. I mean, I know you're technically a ghost and all, but... yeah, I still haven't figured out the whole... their bodies are still in Eorzea, and they're essentially spirits here. The XR didn't do a very good job explaining that whole mess. Or maybe he did and it just went over my head, but it seems to me that the light somehow gave them a physical manifestation as they passed through. I mean, it would make sense when you look at the fact that there's a wall made out of light blocking you off from the rest of the world because it's trying to swallow everything. So, yeah, I mean, it's... and the fact that we just trust the Crystal Exarch, like, hey, mysterious person just warped us out of our homeland in the middle of the most important war and almost got us killed by the fake Xeno. I'm interested in finding out more about what's going on with both Xeno, the Ascian that's in his body, and Xeno, the spirit dwelling inside of a random Imperial soldier. Okay, guys. Okay, cool. Oh, what kind of quest is that? Are you okay? Gen. What kind of quest do you have for me? Oh, okay. So, Aether Current. I'll do that some other point. Maybe off screen. Or if I'm waiting for dungeon view. It's the only thing I dislike about playing DPS. Like, I love the role. I love playing as Dragoon. When Final Fantasy XIV first came out and they said you could be a Lancer and then become a Dragoon, I was super excited because that's always been like my favorite class in any game that allows you to choose that. Came from Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy II if you're in the US. Was probably one of the best developed characters from a game back from my childhood, because his character development, his plot growth, everything was spot on. Like, it just, games like that just prove that you don't have to have the best graphics in the world to create an amazing, memorable game. And that's why to this day, Chrono Trigger is still my favorite game. But then again, graphically, I mean, it's hard to beat hand-drawn artwork by Akira Toriyama, so. Oh ho, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ronron's wares? No, because last time I almost died. Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Why would this guy have nectarine? Do you have any in stock? Oh yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Why didn't you give me that? Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one free of charge. Seeing as how I paid to have you poison me, it's pretty bad. Gods, I've seen a moored merchant give away something for nothing. I've never seen a moored merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Even 5 gil is more than enough if they're trying to kill you. Oh yes, I'll take a jar of your honeyed worms as well. Alize, what is wrong with you? Exactly, that is the right reaction. Oh no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. Yeah, I don't buy that either. The worms, if you please. Only the best wrigglers for you. Come again, my friends. I think not, because the nectarines might kill me too. Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetherite to the main tower. The view I wanted to show you can only be seen from its very top. Still waiting for that first duty queue, because that's... The roulettes seem to be okay, but trying to get into a specific dungeon? I remember when Stormblood first came out, that was bad. Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Oh. Okay. Glazed worms, you actually brought them. You really shouldn't... I really shouldn't let you know, but just this once. Alright, only once. I don't know why I said no. Never fails, shall we?
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond?
There's absolutely nothing.
That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance.
And we've been fighting for the light this whole time.
That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food.
Ooh.
In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals.
Something tells me there's something else going on, because it usually
I feel
isn't
just
that
as
cut and
helpless as
dry.
before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons.
It was kind of a weird timing. It was like you were about to say
But
more
even
and
if
then
the fault lay with someone
collapse.
else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
Yes, let's go poison what I can only assume is a child, because he looked pretty young for an Aura. Oh boy. I'm glad I was able to show you that when it comes to understanding the catastrophe words, which befell the first. One glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Urianje's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesling has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. And it's kind of like letting a zombie into the camp. The Cares are truly fond of their wards and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. Oh, time to go poison someone. Yeah, if there's one complaint, and it's not even so much of a complaint, it's just, I don't know, it's a little on the off-putting side to me that I'm in a brand new area, in a different time, in a different realm, and the enemies are just slightly different colored versions of enemies I've already been fighting before. Except for that thing. I don't recall if I've fought one of those before. I don't know. Although the one that is a new variant that I've seen, at least new to me, I don't recall seeing it before, are the giant cactuar that are in this area. Those things look crazy. Ah, yes. Poison your patient. I like that fox. That's great now. Thank you, Alize's explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others and we decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. Thanks to you, though, if his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. The time left to us. Justine makes an effort to smile brightly. Well, nothing is going to happen for a while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat, and I'll make us a nice stew. Are you going to poison my stew? Because I swear I am not corrupted by a sin eater. You can't talk about poisoning somebody's food and then immediately offer them food.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
I had some extra poison laying around.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
100% poison.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
There should be like a third option that says, where's the antidote? Sure, I'll have another bowl with the poison special.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get.
I don't know why I look so shocked, that's obvious.
She was showing the early signs.
Ooh. So now you poison people for a living. Just call her Dr. Death.
I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here.
Oh yeah, and you don't want to turn into a horrible man-eating monster around your family.
Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also
Probably mad in
thankful that
general.
her passing was a peaceful one.
Whoops. Where am I? Hit the keyboard.
It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
Huh. He's haunting me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
Yeah, he's a ghost now.
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely.
He's here.
Sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
It'd be funny if he just like popped up right behind me as a ghost. Like, they can't see me. When people infected all react to the same thing at the same time? Oh.
in Halric! I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
That's why you don't bring people infected with the zombie virus back into camp. Shit. My mouse isn't even on there. Okay. Come on, there we go. Ragnar Alize, we have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandering out there alone, we'll assign search areas and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before, but it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the end. Halric isn't very sure of his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric, please be alright. I'll cover the north and the west then. You take everything from here to the south. And a convenient quest marker tells me exactly where I need to go. That's all. No, not you. Come on. Alright. I'll go this way. Scissor Jaws. Even there was a variant of that, I think, in Stormblood. Maybe it was in Heavensward. I can't remember. Surveying. I may not even be looking in the right direction. No sign of Halric. Maybe he went further west. Now we're just guessing. Why not? Thread the needle? And I did. Look at that. It's not that I'm like worried that any of these things can like hurt me, but it just takes so much time traveling when like every enemy wants to eat you. Oh, those things over there look new. Maybe they're not. You scan surroundings in search of Halric and suddenly find yourself under attack. Because... Okay. Check what my Chocobo's role is, because he's taking a lot of damage. Okay. I don't know if I need defender, healer more. Let's see. Let's keep you a healer for now. No, I'll adjust accordingly. Wow, your Chobo doesn't stay out as long as they used to. Has it been that long? 30 minutes. Huh. I guess it counts when you're in story instances, which I don't think it should. I think if you can't move because it's telling a story, it should pause your timers. Alright, Halric, where are you?
Any sign of him?
Nope.
No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
Oh, is that the thing from the opening?
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
Well, you are a red mage, therefore you can heal and attack, so we should be fine.
There it is!
Oh, they're just having a chit chat.
Is that... Oh, oh no!
Apparently she's getting a little rough. Ah, so she's good with a
We
sword.
have to run!
Oh.
Tesling!
Well,
No!
goodbye, Tesleen. Ooh. And no reaction.
We all deserve happiness. Wherever we can find it.
So yeah, before you go, about
The
that,
time left to you
about the
is
antidote.
precious. No one should die in pain.
I'm pretty sure you're hurting right now. You literally just coughed up blood.
Mother,
What? Gross. Wow, she became a zombie fast. Oh. I didn't know Final Fantasy was one of those kinds of games now. What is going on? Oh, that's can't be good. Oh god, it reminds me of what happened with
No!
Nina from Full Metal Alchemist. She's somewhat still conscious and alert and... Meanwhile, Halric is just standing there like, oh god, I got all over my shoes. She cut off a wing with that old style sword that's probably like a level 10 sword. But I could probably go in with relic gear and still barely do damage. Hooray for Blonde. Are you actually gonna... Is she gonna say anything? Nope. Nope. Yeah, even if I wasn't mute already, that probably would take all the speech out of me. I'm sorry, Ragna. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on. Not like this. Yeah, that was horrifying to witness. I only knew Tesleen for 5, 6 quests, but that was still horrifying. It was so unfair. Tesleen was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared and that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. At least one of the people she was taking care of didn't like bite her and give it to her. I assume that's how you contract it. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate that what you're doing here. Me, I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing, about giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Yeah, not gonna happen. Oh, is he good? Nope. Halric is as unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring at the sky where the Sin Eaters made their escape. Leveling up just doesn't feel right now. Combo action, Sonic Thrust. Delivers an attack with a potency of 100 to all enemies in a straight line before it. Well, let's go ahead and have a 2D map. Oh boy, how does he spell? Colerthon Torment. Done. Okay. Yeah, he's straight up staring, like right in that direction. Alize is lost in grief. Let's say Alize, or I've spoken to the carriers. I'm gonna be comforting. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. To me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Halric. You weren't hurt at all, were you? No. I was just... Me and Alize were like the only two that didn't get hurt in that process. Hurt. There wasn't even a fight. I was too late, too slow. And I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Halric back safe and sound. No one could have done any more. Well, if we hadn't just stopped and stared and watched the whole thing. I'm sorry, but I've come to a conclusion, or to a decision. I won't be continuing in my role here. Good, because I need you in the other place. I hope you'll forgive me for leaving you, and that you will delay Halric's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. He looks dead already. We always do. But how do you know? Of course, she would have done the same. Farewell, Halric. Keep Tesleen's words close to your heart. Is he gonna say something? No. Oh, okay. Thought maybe we'd get a word out of him first. Wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? Again, we have to go do the thing at the other place, yes. I have a destination in mind, yes, and a purpose. We've got to round up all the other, I almost call them crystal bearers, scions. The damned light, building without cease. It's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the eaters. But what if we corrected the balance? Even if only by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now, hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light. But how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. It wouldn't be the first time we've kind of done that. And just this game alone, not even counting all the other Final Fantasy games. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I have gained here to hurt them. She looks rather disgusted. It's like, it's so pretty, but so terrifying at the same time. And apparently very, very evil. Should I do hot flags? Why do I feel like this is going slower than walking? So I gotta go, okay, I gotta go all the way back. Like those things, they were called like Peace or Pice or something like those cacti. Those actually look kind of cool. And that one is falling asleep. That was cute. Okay. I don't know if I can fall down that, and I'd rather not find out. Because me and my best friend were talking not too long ago about the beta version, which I don't like admitting that I played 14 beta because it was so bad. Like the game was so broken on so many levels that if like you felt like here you couldn't jump, so you had to contact a GM in game and have them warp you out, and it was so bad. But to see what they turned it into, I'm impressed beyond words. Forgive me, Ragna. I couldn't stay there for a moment longer. But I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the end battle against this blight with kindness, I must fight it in my own way, with steel. From Eorzea's sword in the darkness to Norvant's sword in the light. Yeah. Gods above. It feels like an age ago now. For me, it was like yesterday. Miss Alize, is there anything I can get you? Your swiftest Amuro. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Which, by the way, my best friend also streams on here occasionally. Various different games. There is a link in my channel, I'm pretty sure. But his name is McMoofles, and he's a real fun, real chill gamer. So if you feel like watching a casual stream every now and then, he pops in every once in a while. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Am Arang again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help to clear my head at least. And I think I'm ready to meet with the XR. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Senators out, shall we? Okay. Can't do that here. And shortcut. And shortcut. And shortcut. Hold on. It's using the same. Okay, so here? Yes. Well, must be a scene here because everybody's... Yeah, okay. No. Alright, talk to me too. Enter the ocular. Hello, Alize. Hello, Crystal Exarch. Thank you for seeking me out, Ragna. It meant a lot to have you there at my side. I was tempted to set off the moment we had decided upon a direction. But you still have to visit Alphino, haven't you? Yes, I do. And if I know my brother, he'll be on the cusp of discovering something vital to our success. If he hasn't already. I'm content to stay here and consider our options for the time being, but don't keep me waiting too long, eh? And complete. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. Like, the music in this area, like, it seems like every expansion so far in each area has been themed a little different. I know that probably seems obvious, but plus, can I just say I love the way they do the Aethernet now, that you can like literally just look at the map and go, okay, I need to go here, so the closest one is there. Because in the last one we had a very, very Asian theme with like the Near East and all that, and now like it's like some of the music sounds Scottish themed, and then Feo Ui has a very Scottish accent, which is interesting. Just collecting some stuff because it's been a minute. This report. Sign. Clip. sold like one thing. Sign. Quit. And Gil. 14 gil, good job. Marauder's Ring. Huh. Alright. Quit. And... Huh? Oh, okay. They've changed some of the UI elements, and I'm still on the verge of catching up. I need to go here, so Temenos Rookery. Okay. And by the way, like it I had to make the joke when I first got to this area, and I didn't have like any of the map. I only had like the name, and it said Lakeland, and I had to I had to make the joke with my best friend because I live in Florida, and Lakeland is a city in Florida. So I was like, oh, this doesn't look like the Lakeland I know. Not that I'm saying Lakeland, Florida looks bad, but you know. I'm glad that's not where I currently reside, because it's a little further away from everything than I'd like to be. Face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Introduction. I guess I can just do that. Yeah. See, I like I said, I'm new to the PC version, so. Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amaro for passage to Colusia. I will pick you out a friendly whelp. Amaro are often used for travel, man. And there I was expecting a chocobo. Wait, he does have chocobo here. Okay. That's right. Mounts like my gray friend over there are a common sight in these parts. But I gather you hail from further afield, more accustomed to chocobos, perchance. I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. I also ride a dragon, horse, an evil horse, a horse that's on fire, several birds. Yeah, so a giant eyeball. Right. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zune, I guess that's what you guys are called here, worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrived safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. Okay, great. Where is that at? I need to go... Oh, okay. Amaro. So it's literally called the Amaro launch. Okay. Screw your gate. Yeah, that makes it so much more convenient. You want to fly an Amaro to Colusia? Well, I suppose if Master Genmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mounts shortly. You can now travel to Kalusia, speaking with the aspiring armor tamer to fly to the island. I love how it still says I gained Lancer experience.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath.
It's funny how poetic he's got.
At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
You know, I find it odd that in the first expansion, well, 2.0, the original Realm Reborn, there was very little, if much at all, voice acting. I can't recall any memorable lines. But then in 3.0, starting with Heavensward, they had heavy-duty voice acting. And then, actually, I think it was midpoint in A Realm Reborn that they started doing heavy-duty voice acting, if I'm remembering correctly. And I know at some point they changed voice actors, I think, for Stormblood, and things started sounding weird. Like, some of the characters stayed the same, but a lot of them changed. And it was kind of jarring at first because you would hear a voice and you're supposed to like react to go, oh, I know who that is, but you didn't know who it was because they changed the actor. So I think they've got a good cast now, and they should keep what they have. We are arrived. English. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern edge of Kalusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eaters attack far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. So terrifying is what you're saying. It is the people you should be wary of, just like any post-apocalyptic scenario. I feel like there should be like a weird version of Ifrit here, because... and Titan. Spy you the city in the distance, that is Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. Where does the water come from? Now that I think about it, if the whole world is walled off, how is there still a tide? How is the water not stagnant? If all you have is just a small area. Like, I don't know, like the whole mechanics of this new world, like, I don't know. For years, the Elmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of our... Oh, lost my place. Other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. 3 lines and I lost my place. It's 1:15 in the morning. But to say their ideas are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with the Yulmore is strained at best. Well, seeing as how the world has only like 3 or 4 cities left, like, it's not a big map, and it really isn't. So they shouldn't be hard to, defend yourself against. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here. Well, I don't really know him anyway. Especially in the vicinity of the city. I'm glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. He's the only elf here. or whatever race he is. The ancient thing. I forget what they were called. Alphino and Alize are the last two members of whatever race they are. At least that they've talked about. Whatever Zem de Jin Mai has to tell you, he plainly deems it worthy of your undivided attention. So I should just go squirrel. If you head south along the coast, so okay, yeah, south, you'll eventually, south is that way. You'll eventually come to a fisherman's shack, and he's been there fishing the whole time. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ebor. Like the city? Ebor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Colusia, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme, and that'll let him know you can be trusted. Great, I gotta go find some time. Oh, okay, never mind, you're just gonna hand it to me. Good. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with the Amuro until you're ready to return. Okay, so we're gonna go this way, and hobgoblins. I mean, like, look at this. There's a tide. There's... Oh, that must be like particles of light. I thought they were sakura blossoms. Now, that island off in the distance, I'd love to know what that is. Can I even get there? Probably not. It's probably a different instance. Yeah. Yo, the world may be small, but like the maps for each area are pretty big. See, there's 1, 2, 3 aetheryte crystals just in this screen. That's something I've always loved about Final Fantasy XIV is the size of the outdoor areas are just staggering. Like, the first MMO I ever played was Ragnarok Online. It wasn't the first online game I played, but it was the first MMO. And I thought those areas were big. And they were nothing compared to this. I played World of Warcraft for a little bit until it became repetitive and tedious. Then after I stopped playing, they had introduced the pandas, and then they destroyed the world and started over, all that good stuff. But even those areas are nothing compared to this. What you after? Fish? Crab? I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you have a taste for them. I've never actually had eel. Move that over. That way next time it shouldn't pop up on me. Ooh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in a pan, and it's a bloody festival of flavor. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say as there's been major upsets to report these past few weeks. Do you know where a weird person named Alphino, who has no resemblance of any other race around here? Alphino, I know the one, our young champion of the downtrodden. Elmore's richer than all of Norvant put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. English is so weird. Most spending every week. I probably just offended people. I did not mean that. I just mean, like, reading it, like hearing it out loud is one thing. I can easily understand what's being said, but when I'm reading it, it's like my mind is trying to translate it in a different way, and it, like, I either add or take out words that I shouldn't, and it confuses the meaning even more. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive. Plus, he's like using slang too, so when you combine the two, it really throws me off. Which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess to where he is now. Get a message. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him. Two separate thoughts, same sentence. That should have been a semicolon. I'm not that bad, I swear. But you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Yes. Make for solitude. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there and I'll see that Alphino joins you. Okay. Somehow I feel like maybe you've swapped sides. Oh, they look like red caps. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I just have this weird sneaking suspicion that he's actually switched sides. See, so like, the hobgoblins look new. I mean, there were similar enemies in the past, but like, they actually like, changed them up, which I like. Like these, like the Gubu, I think is what they're called. Although usually they're not aggro. Yeah, games like this give me trust issues because it seems like every time we trust somebody in this game, they immediately have us searching for the knife in our back. Let me talk to you so I can end this. Okay. This is a very this is very small. Get This is like the smallest tavern I've ever seen. So your first time in a tavern, it's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll you be having? And what are you paying with? Gil? That's all I got. Well, no, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I have 650,722 more where that came from. I'm serious, dear. I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity, and I'm not going to go begging for one from the neighbors. So we'll just have to come to some other arrangement. What? Oh, here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? Hey, I've done this quest before. I want you to squash any vermin you find and visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. You'll be in the old silo next to the fence, storing like as not. Do that for me, and you can laze about here as long as you like. Wow, the cost of a drink in this world is crazy. I thought $7 for a drink was bad. Okay, go all the way north, past all these monsters, kill probably more monsters to save plants, or to save crops, and then yell at an old man. No. Whoa. Ow. I promise I don't taste delicious. Okay. Blighted crop. So, are we talking like aphids? Something like that. And there we go. Just gonna run right through their fields. If they didn't want me to, they would have told me not to. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ah, there's two of you this time. So I get to try out my new skill. Ah, that actually looks pretty cool. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to use. I wanted to use that one. And done. Okay, now time to go yell at some poor old guy. You know, this is probably distracting. Since we're only really focusing on the one quest, we can find it. Okay, do this. There we go. Alright. No response. Maybe you need to knock louder. He's probably dead. Or a sin eater. Or something. No response. That's the activation's hard of hearing. Just barge in. That's not a nice sound. We hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. Yes, just like Link, we're just gonna go inside of a house and rob them. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Do you feel like a hero? And see, like I said, sometimes I ride dragons. Oh, excuse me. I had chilies for dinner, and it's causing me to have hiccups. Ooh, how do you dismount when you're not using a controller? I have no idea. Oh, there we go. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Absolutely nothing! Squeak, squeak. Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. Hopefuls? Oh, he probably went to the city. In Gate Town, outside Gilmore, you don't have a clue as to what I'm talking. See, I figured that out. I don't know why my character couldn't figure that out. And there I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house. Oh, okay. That makes it so much better, going through all of that for 2 drinks. That's a suspiciously blue bottle.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
My best friend,
Tis good to see you, my friend.
when he plays, he has a very similar outfit to that. Good to see you too. Last time I played as you,
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better
and
harvest
that
than
was
the
actually a
last.
lot of fun. Especially since he's got
What'd
that
you say,
ebony
Nana?
carbuncle.
Oh, Alfino, you really are a dear.
He is kind of awesome.
Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It's like she already knows, like, I will be gone. You're going to talk about otherworldly stuff. Did the door just open back up?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu.
Yeah, that was...
It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to
The
the
feels.
relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
I appreciate that. I really was worried about him.
Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
A lot. There's been a lot since you passed out in the desert, outside of Garlemald. A lot has happened.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable.
No, you have an Ascian in a dead guy's body who strangely pulled the whole Mr. Smith thing and tried to be my friend at the very end. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may.
She is an adorable little thing even when she's sad.
It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change.
Yeah, tell me about it. So much dying and people disappearing and
But before we bid this world
migraines,
farewell,
aneurysms,
we must
stuff like
first
that.
ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Xeno? Oh, no,
Which can only
no.
mean
The
one
Black
thing.
Rose. Yeah.
Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means.
This is
And
true.
thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered.
Alphino
That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore.
very...
Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority.
That's something that I've always liked about his character. He's got such strong convictions, and he's just like when they first introduced him and his sister to the game, they were very aloof. It was like they didn't care about anything, and then like the more you developed your relationship with them, like the more you got to see the depths of what kind of people they are, and I was blown away by their stories.
If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Well, why not? I love how every other character, when they do the fist thing, it makes noise, but when I do it,
And
there's
so we
nothing.
take to the road once more.
Like old times. Except it's never night, so there would be very little to no camping. Complete. Open arms, closed gate. Alphino is ready to take to the road once more. And he's already in his travel. I skipped what he just said. If we time our travel right, or just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west and then cross a small bridge. So we're gonna crash the gate. I'm not gonna do any of these right now, but because I like saving these for other jobs. It's not a whole lot of XP, but and magic developer. First time I've had this one pop up in my Mount Roulette since I've played the PC version. I wish that actually would do something in battle. That'd be pretty cool. Get another key, make it actually do something. Galugia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all of its culture and history, was being erased from existence. Oof. More Full Metal Alchemist-like stuff. No, no, get away from me. Is it that thing? That looks new. That looks like a Pokemon. Almost looks like a Kecleon. Oh, there's another one. That way. Over there. Quickly, someone's in trouble. Yeah, sure. Why not? Galugian Iguana. You look, like I said, you look more like a Kecleon. Oh, what's that arrow? Up? What does that mean? Oh, it's a Sin Eater. Alright, come on. Come on. Gotcha. Oh, thank the fates. Look out. You are under attack. I don't have any Gastral Greens, so... Dive. Your school didn't profit. I used the wrong one. Sorry, lady, if that one hit you. Ooh, I'm going to die. Whoa. This thing is actually a threat to me. Holy crap. Whew. Can I get some heals? My poor heart. Thank you, sir. Oh, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings. I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. Good. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Ilmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. Well, I mean, what is that blue thing in the distance? Is that another Aetherite? One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, unless you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's not to be had here but cobwebs and memories. 'Tis as the lady says, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Ilmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? They're made of people! Yes, Alize would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Hope you're not mad that I went and found her first. Just saying. Compared with Arang, Kalusia is almost a haven, but as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time, at least. Now shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. We're gonna go west. Good band, by the way. Okay, so giant bird. Yeah, they seriously look like giant fat Kecleons. Which, another friend of mine who is actually in the free company that I am in this game, his name is Vaydyn, V-A-Y-D-Y-N. He also live streams on here, and most recently I watched him play Pokemon Arceus. So if that's your thing, go ahead and follow him on here as well. He's a he's a pretty chill guy as well. He's does his thing on Twitch. And takes so long just to arrive at your destination. It looks so small closer up.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Ilmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
That same NPC you see in like every city.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh?
Uh-oh.
I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
I have 4, thank you.
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
Sure I am. Let me just get
What?
out
I
my
was only
triple
making
triad
conversation.
cards. How come? Okay. Alright. I don't have very many friends who are British. That's not like a choice. I know that sounds weird when I say it like that. I don't know very many. And I love the accent, but what I find odd in games like this and movies like this, whenever somebody has, I guess you call this the Cockney accent, they're usually a bad guy. Why can't they ever be a good guy? I've never understood that. It's like they're pigeonholing a whole dialect and accent to always being evil. It's like, I don't get it. There might be a few exceptions, but I can't think any off the top of my head. Like, it's almost always bad.
Gentlemen, your attention, please!
Oh boy. Why did I just have a Shadow Hearts flashback? Oh, Calabrina.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards.
Am I gonna have to fight
Let it be
Calabrina?
known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master
Please.
culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection.
I'm a culinarian?
The matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu.
I don't know how good I am with fish dishes, but I'm a culinarian. I think. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Calabrina. It's Calsa and Brina, which, when they combine, I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember what Calsa and Brina. Yeah, Calcabrina, or Calca. Calbrina, yeah. Sorry, one thing I will say, I love the Final Fantasy IV
Who
soundtrack.
among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
Alphino, keep your mouth shut because I need to check my culinary skills first.
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A
Can you
poor man
blame
would
them?
sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the
Or
common
heaven.
folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
That's kinda how it works in the real world too. This game just has no chill when it comes to like making fun of real world ideals.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in a city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Wait, hold on. I just realized. I thought it said that they were jugglers. They're junglers. I don't know what that means. I have no clue. But okay. You look so happy.
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident.
What? I guess that's not so bad. It's like, hey, you get into the city and everybody gets fed. I mean, that's a way to control people too, but I mean...
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems...
Yeah, it would suck on the days where, like, nobody gets picked. And they're like, you know what, nobody gets
it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
You've had it? Is it that bad? Or were you trying to make a pun? Oh, it would be so weird if they're eating the people that they bring in there. Why are you looking at me like that? Do I know you? Do you know me? Do you want to know me? Am I gonna fight you later? Are you Kalsa Ambrina, perhaps? Or Kalka Ambrina? Or however you say that? Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city thus far have come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest with ever-changing rules. It seemed pretty straight up to me, like, hey, who here makes the best fish? You? Okay, come on. That seemed pretty straightforward to me. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Yulmore's current ruler came to power. Yet, from what I have seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, hey, everybody wants to be distracted, everyone. It robs them of their self-sufficiency. I have tried to propose ways that could improve their lot, but my words invariably fell on deaf ears. So invariably, it fell on ears that listened to me. I'm assuming is the takeaway from it. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a tour around Gatetown and judge the situation for yourself. Sure, why not? Maybe I'll run into that girl and she'll explain to me why she was staring at me like that. I wonder if they're eating people, though. Like, that would explain some of that, especially since it's a new ruler and he just might like that kind of stuff. Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gatetown's not much to look at, but at least it's safe, and the mule is the best thing I've ever tasted. I wouldn't mind tasting it. I mean, unless it is made out of people, then, I mean, then give me something else, because, yeah. Are you okay? Okay. Oh, there's bunny people here. Yeah, I thought them adding the, Viera was a strange choice. And especially since I've never seen a male Viera before. A large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks, meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. I don't like the fact that this has an arrow pointing up. Because the last time it happened, I was in a battle that almost killed me. So... Oh, saddlebags. Cash over here, do I? Yes, I realize I have a lot of things. My inventory is crazy. Just crazy. Which is why I got a third retainer, and I have a weird feeling that at some point I may have a fourth. But when you have every job picked up, and you do crafting ever so often, I'm skipping over what they're saying. Every day I dream of the life that waits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? Well, if you learn to cook fish... By the way, can I cook fish? Logs... crafting log... Culinarian... mashed potatoes... Antelope steak, grape juice, honey muffin... Oh, I can make honey muffins. Is that new? Huh, let's look into that. Eel pie, that's fish, right? That's kind of fish. Raw oyster, that's kind of crab ball. Oh, grilled warm water trout. See, yeah, I could have done that and got in there. I would have even made it high quality for you. Or attempted to, anyway, with the right ingredients. Alphino, how far did... Jeez. You were all the way back here. You've seen what Gatetown has to offer. And a word. These people can no longer fend for themselves. They've become dependent on handouts of meal and believe Yilmore is the answer to all their woes. Yet, no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable, to conceive of any other way of life. Well, to be fair, they all are going to die soon, most likely. Well, I think that I'm going to wrap it up here for the day. It's currently 2 a.m. And I have been on stream for a little over 2 hours now. It's just a bit over 2 hours. So yeah, I'm picking up here next time and see if we can help Alphino convince the town to open the gates and let people live their lives or something. Alright, I'm out.